You are listening to Curious Cat, the podcast that examines the shadowy space where science and the supernatural collide. And I'm your host, Jennifer Holtz. Join me every week as I explore what it means to be a soul in a meat suit. Welcome to Curious Cat. This week, we're shifting into holiday mode. If you're like me, the word holiday ups your blood pressure. This year, let's make a vow to put our mental and emotional health first. And in that spirit, I'm going to share ways to keep and maintain sanity during this busy, expensive, exhausting, merry time of year. This week is a two-fer. We can't do the first part as easily if we have loved ones that have passed on our hearts. It makes everything else, well, more so, more tiring, more taxing, more everything. I offer ways to make room for our lost loved ones throughout the holiday season that I hope help you to grieve in the open and even find new healthy traditions that keep your loved one's spirits in the conversation. Let's get into it. First, let's learn from my mistakes. It's the mantra behind my parenting, and it can be applied to any of life's issues. My goal as a parent has been simply to tell the kids about my mistakes, and armed with that knowledge, maybe they can understand the complexity of making decisions and choose for themselves what to do, how to be, all that good stuff. And this felt like a good way to start our holiday conversation too, because when it comes to the holidays, I've completely blown it. I've been so frazzled burning the candle from both ends that I ended up being nicer to the mall Santa than my own loved ones. I've spent too much on gifts with money I didn't have and gone into credit card debt. I've taken on too many giant family gatherings that wore me to the bone and turned my Christmas spirit into a dried, salty nugget. I've gained weight, stress eating during the holidays. I've lost sleep wrapping Martha Stewart perfect packages. I have play acted my way through a Christmas morning for the kids' sake after me and my husband had been up all night cleaning up backed up sewage that spewed out of the first floor toilets all over the house because someone put crab shells down the garbage disposal on Christmas Eve. I have stuffed down grief and then exploded at the family for something completely unrelated. This holiday survival guide today is for me as much as for you. I've learned a lot throughout the years, and looking at my blunders is an honest place to begin the conversation. First, who suffers most from holiday stress? Well, I know it's up for debate, but the statistics show that more women than men actually experience an increase in stress leading up to the holidays. Some speculate it's because women tend to take on the majority of holiday-related burdens, from the shopping to the planning holiday meals. Lower middle-income families, those making between $30,000 and $50,000, experience the most financial pressure, reporting very high stress levels. And the effects of holiday stress, they include headaches, the inability to sleep, exhaustion, upset stomach, and all of this stress can lead to cardiovascular disease. So it may seem obvious, but let's go over what causes holiday stress. I know we can't exactly boil down holiday stress to one root cause. It's usually an oleo of the following that end up pushing us over the brink of sanity. The first factor is there isn't enough time to do everything. That lack of time goes hand in hand with a lack of funds. People work themselves to the bone trying to earn enough money to give their family amazing gifts, but this has long-term negative effects on our lives. We feel pressured to create the perfect holiday. Commercialism and hype bring a great deal of attention to the holidays, and they raise expectations. Even all those Hallmark Channel movies that a lot of us love so much, it really ups the ante. I am guilty of trying to live up to delivering the perfect Christmas, especially when my kids were young, and I've since let that go. Family visits aren't always pleasant. Okay, I said it out loud. It's true, though. There are complicated family dynamics that mean lots of us in close quarters is stressful. Add alcohol, and the mix can be downright toxic. Years ago, I had to set a boundary around my little family of 4. It wasn't healthy to have one particular member at our house. I know it was devastating to the kids, to the cousins, even to myself. I miss the way things used to be. And after I set that boundary, I found I had to dig deep before Thanksgiving, grit my teeth, and steel myself for the family members that I had to remind of this new way of doing things. It was awful, but the alternative, which I played through my head, it was worse. After a year of this new way of doing things, we all adjusted. My family of 4 enjoyed the new traditions we were making together, so it worked out. My point is that every family has drama and points of tension. Show grace where you can, but ultimately do what's best for you and the ones in your care. Another factor in the stress level is food woes leading to weight loss worries. The holidays are a nightmare for those on a diet. Other factors that can cause stress, whether it's being gluten-free or being vegetarian or just having a desire to eat healthy. I find that I have the most success planning meals that aren't a giant chunk of meat surrounded by rich, buttery carbs. I try to make substantial and nutritious side dishes that hold up as main courses on their own for anybody that doesn't eat meat. And after that meal, I leave the kitchen alone. I drag others into the adjoining family room so that I'm not tempted to keep snacking the night away, because I'll end up waking in the middle of the night feeling really gross. A final factor in holiday stress is work. Work can become significantly more demanding around the holidays. Don't spend your time and energy pretending you aren't busy if you are. Just be honest. Set parameters around the days so you can check emails and respond to work questions, then close down that computer, set that phone in the charger, and be completely plugged into the celebrations. Okay, so we've established the holidays can be exhausting. It's like having a house guest for 2 consecutive months. We have to juggle our regular load of life's responsibilities, work, kids, pets, self-care, home chores, dental or medical stuff, and then on top of all that, find time and money to think up gifts, purchase them, wrap them, hide them. Then there's the food situation, planning 4 big meals, then buying and preparing them, not to mention the cleanup. Sometimes there's even travel involved, and it's a tricky time to move about the country with snow and the congestion at the airports or bus stations, all that. There's also work parties and mailing out holiday cards, carrying on traditions like going to see the Nutcracker or driving around to look at holiday lights, to volunteering at the local food bank or shelter. If you have kids in school, there's also making gifts for teachers, That to-do list is almost bottomless. It's no wonder come January, we all have low-grade colds, an extra 10 pounds around our middles, and credit card debt. What if we proactively prepared for the holiday season this year? Then we say weekly or daily, remind ourselves of that plan and renew our vow to stick with it no matter what. The holidays couldn't end up worse than last year, right? So why not try a new approach? I read a lot of articles online to find simple, common sense ways to survive the holidays. Some of them felt preachy or even judgmental. Like, the key to limiting holiday stress is to push back hard on invites, or it's our fault for saying yes to too many things. While that is valid, I found some other sources that felt more grounded in moderation and kindness. I've provided the links in the show notes so you can read them in your own time, maybe even print them off if it helps. From calmsage.com, their article titled, "Let Go of Your Holiday Stress with These 8 De-Stressing Techniques," author Swarnowski Sharma in the intro, that's where I found the mantra I mentioned at the top. This holiday season, let's put our mental and emotional health first. I love this. Here are some simple tips to de-stress the holidays. First, there's perfection in imperfection. One of the most common causes of stress during the holiday season is making sure your house is perfect for hosting. Well, it doesn't have to be. And I'm going to interject one of the best pieces of advice I ever received because it relates. Your loved ones aren't coming over to see your clean house. It's to spend time with you. A home filled with laughter and joy can put a smile on your face more than perfection can. The second is delegate your tasks. It's not all your responsibility. Sometimes it's healthy to let go of the reins and give someone else a chance. Again, I'd like to add to this great thought. Let others, including your kids, take over something. Let go of your expectations that it'll turn out the same as if you did it, but know that they're learning something too, and their way may end up becoming the new way of doing something moving forward. The third is routine gives comfort. When it comes to managing stress, it is best to remember to stick to a routine. That structure allows you to feel comfortable and gives a sense of order to the holidays. Stick to what you normally do. Routine helps. I'm going to add here that even when you have house guests, if you're getting out to walk is essential to your mental health, for example, stick to it. If you want, invite your guests to join you, but don't skip it. Routine relates to diet as well. The tendency is to eat what your guests prefer, but if it hurts your gut, slows your digestion, leaves you feeling bloated or lethargic, that's not good for you. Strike a balance at meals between guests and yourself. That may mean when you order pizza, also make a giant salad. Do what you can to make guests feel taken care of while keeping yourself as a priority. The fourth is gifts are not everything. Remember that saying, it's the thought that counts? It's true. Sharma says, gifts are not everything. The holidays are not about the gifts. It's about tradition. Think stargazing, quiet bonfires, sitting around and swapping stories. I love this. This is more important than ever in this time of economic uncertainty. Ask your family and loved ones to forego gifts this year, except maybe for the little ones. If they insist, ask that everyone give from what they already have with the mindset, I have all I need right here. And do not go into debt to give. Of course, if you have young people in your life that are struggling and you happen to have abundance, sure, slip them a gift card discreetly into their pockets, but don't make it part of the gift scene. The fifth is You've got to say no. Sharma reminds us that you do not have to say yes to every invitation. She said the best way to avoid additional stress is to RSVP no. I have more to say about this, and I'll do that at the very end of this episode. The sixth is watch what you eat or drink. So when under stress, it's common to reach for sugary foods, carbonated beverages, caffeine, even alcohol. While these substances may give you temporary relief, they are not permanent or long-lasting solutions. In fact, consuming too much of that can cause more problems than it fixes. So watch what you eat and drink under stress. 7, laugh out loud. It's another way to manage your holiday stress. Laugh. Laughter releases endorphins that relax and tense muscles. They improve your breathing. They stimulate lungs and they decrease stress levels. So if you are wrapping gifts, choose a comedy to watch while you're wrapping away. Finally, Sharma says, just be with yourself. Connecting with yourself is as important as connecting with others this holiday season. If your responsibilities drain your energy and cause stress, take an afternoon to be with yourself. Do what you love during this break. Engage in self-care. And if you can't spare a half day, here are some clever ways to steal a few minutes that I've used. I linger in the car on either end of running errands. I take a few extra minutes in the bathroom to reset my energy. Sometimes I go to bed before my house guests and take that time to soak in a bath or read a book. Sharma concludes with a reminder to set expectations at real levels, as real as you can, not too high or low. Leave space to be surprised or disappointed. And if you're having too much trouble dealing with holiday stress, ask for help from a professional counselor. Is gratitude the key to coasting through the holidays? Well, the first holiday on the docket is Thanksgiving. What if we make being thankful the sub-theme to the holidays? First, getting through them while putting our mental and emotional health first. Then, have an attitude of gratitude that overlays everything. Being thankful helps us stay positive. It shrinks those mountains into molehills, and it enables us to see opportunities where others see a problem. From the book The Holistic Witch, authored by Sean Robbins and Leanna Greenaway, they offer the following suggestions with love. First, they ask people in their communities what they're thankful for, and here are some of the most common answers. Good friends, family, waking up this morning, reliable transportation, food in the house, helpful people in the community, having a job, being able to get out of bed, pets, being able to create, favorite songs, sunrises and sunsets, rain, a warm, dry home, being in nature, the ability to see, books, modern medicine, and good health. They point out that we tend to take certain things for granted, which is exactly why it's important to stop and think about all that we have and are able to enjoy. They suggest we take a moment before we get out of bed or even right before we fall asleep to list a couple things we're grateful for. I love that. They say for moments when the holiday flow feels like too much, pop a crystal in your pocket before you go out into the world. When your fingers happen to come across that rock, focus on its qualities to help magnify that inside of you. They offered a few ideas for those rocks, but use your instincts. Angelite boosts the spirit and gives strength to intentions. Amethyst chases away anxiety, fear, and sadness. And rose quartz gives us universal love and acceptance. They also recommend meditating. Just a couple minutes sitting still restores the old meat suit. It lowers blood pressure, it reduces anxiety, it improves decision making and spurs creativity. It also improves health and sleep and overall mood. They mention stealing time from your day for finding your center and shedding that negative energy that isn't yours. It's kind of contagious, isn't it? Not just the colds around the holiday, but being in a store where people are rushed and feeling anxious about the price of things, that kind of has an impact on our bodies. So they remind us to shed the negative energy that isn't ours. Some suggestions I missed earlier include when you're waiting in line at the post office or stuck in traffic, play a meditation as you wait for your kid's school bus to arrive. Those little gaps of time can be magical spaces. There's another quick tip that I kind of forget I do because it's by instinct now. But before I go out in public and say walk into a building like a store or whatever, I protect my energy. And how I do it is I form a soccer ball shaped energy field around myself. And it keeps my energy from being sucked by others or being impacted by others. So picture yourself surrounded in gold as though you're floating inside a soccer ball of gold energy. Then enter the shop and no one will be able to take that energy from you and you won't be affected by the energy of others. It works every time. The Holistic Witch mentions what to do if you experience moments of absolute panic. I'm going to read this part verbatim so I don't accidentally leave out something important, so bear with me. They say the key is to engage as many senses as possible. Feel the chair you're seated on. Is it soft or hard? Warm or cold? Comfortable or uncomfortable? Next, smell the air. Is there a candle burning? Are there residual scents? Do you smell a dog's wet fur? The piney scent of a wreath or tree? Next, can you taste anything? Are you chewing peppermint gum? Did you drink coffee recently? Focus your vision on one thing, like a clock or a pleasant sight in the distance, maybe even the print on your shirt or the glow of a light bulb, a glimpse of a holiday tree or lights, a picture of a loved one. Next, what do you hear? Really listen. Background sounds like a clock ticking, a dryer cycling, the purr of the bus motor, the muffled chatter of nearby shoppers, car noise like honking and acceleration. Engage your brain in those senses, and the brain will be distracted from the worrying thoughts. Then your blood pressure drops to a normal rate, your breathing slows, and your muscles, they untense. That's how your body registers calm. This has a cascade effect because once your body registers that calm, you'll continue on that path until you're fully relaxed. I mentioned the crystals that they said to pop in your pocket, but if you are near a gem or metaphysical shop anytime soon, buy yourself a copper ball, a copper sphere. And if they don't have copper, choose a different ball-shaped crystal, shungite or clear quartz or whatever. Have it handy because it's going to bring you some amazing effects. When you have a moment, sit and catch your breath, and maybe even when you're wrapping gifts or addressing cards, roll that ball beneath your feet, right foot, then left foot, and feel the mini massage release toxins and release healing chemicals throughout your body. The reflexology point for your brain is in your big toe. Did you know that? You can use the ball under your hands as well. Concentrate on the spot where your palm ends and your wrist begins. That's called the HT7 point or the heart 7 point. Massage here for a minute and switch to the other wrist. This releases anxiety and helps manage pain if, say, you happen to have a headache coming on. Scents can relieve stress and enhance moods in just a few deep breaths. A walk outside in snow has that crisp, woody scent and instantly relaxes my shoulders and racing brain. Here are others from your spice drawer that can provide instant relief as well. Rosemary has a sharp, direct scent, and it provides an energy boost. Basil is strong and versatile. It can help boost and refocus a weary mind. Sage does this as well. Lavender or peppermint enhance concentration and offer healing energy to our overgiving selves. Black pepper is full of energy and it's very stimulating to the brain. Marjoram, which is my favorite for pan-searing chicken, this scent soothes anxiety that us overthinkers are prone to. Lemon or lemon juice releases negative energy. Add some to your tea or glass of water. It also helps to ease anxiety and depression. Sound is very good for the brain and for the body as well. Music can change your energy in an instant. So if you emerge from your errands drained, play a song in your car that cheers you up. Sing at the top of your lungs and purge yourself of any negativity. Don't worry about funny looks. Odds are you'll never see those gawkers again. Holistic Witch also talks about sounds, using sound to alleviate holiday stress. They say sound is one of those things that can transport us to a different time and place in an instant. Every sound has a vibration. A baby is soothed by a lullaby. Our egos shrink to nothing against the noise of rolling ocean waves. A cat's purr is meant to send healing energies to its owner. So when a sound is particularly pleasant or soothing to us, often we identify with its flow or rhythm, and a calm comes over us. Our own rhythm, our heartbeat slows. Our entire mood, it shifts. Other sounds and their antidotes. Ocean waves de-stress us. Bird song relieves worry and nervousness. Rain frees us from the perfectionist impulse. Whale song cancels out self-doubt or harsh self-criticism or second-guessing. How about we harness the magic in sound? I had a couple more little super quick tips before we move on to the second part of the episode. Try to schedule your shopping, whether for food or gifts, at those off times. Hit the mall on the weekdays, either right at opening or in the hour before closing. And avoid those malls on the weekends if possible. Grocery stores. Check if your favorite has a pre-order or curb drive-up option. Then shop in your pajamas the night before. Schedule a pickup time with the convenient pickup space out front for pickup. If you forget something, check your neighborhood mini mart first before swimming in the sea of humanity. I said it was a two-fer episode today, didn't I? And the next part is about grief and the holidays. Grief brings another level of anxiety to the holidays. We need to try to be proactive about our grief, even though it's a slippery little eel, isn't it? I haven't always been able to be proactive with grief. In fact, often I don't know what's the matter with me, why I have no patience or appetite or drive to finish my work. And then it dawns on me, like after a day of this, and I realize grief has been nudging me in the ribs to pay attention to it. Here's a post I shared about it that relates to this conversation called Torching the To-Do List that I think is really relevant to the conversation. This morning, I woke with the remnants of a dream replaying in my head. As I fed animals and brewed coffee, I giggled at the ABBA performance that'd been staged by long-forgotten people during the dream. I deemed it unworthy of an entry in my fancy schmancy dream journal. Instead, I wrote out the plan for the day. The to-do list was modest, only 6 or 7 things to complete before wine time and pajamas. I have interesting projects going on, producing audiobooks, incorporating developmental edits into a manuscript, so why was I feeling meh? As I stood on the treadmill, willing my finger to hit the start button, I stepped down. I didn't want to clock my 2.5 miles. I looked out at the picture windows that faced the front yard and saw the reedy rose stems, tall and bare. I'd been meaning to prune them in half before spring. I stringed music and found pruning shears in the garage, then snipped and tidied. A song by Wasteblood called Andromeda came on. I turned up the volume and listened to the lyrics, starting the song 3 times to memorize the opening strains. Treat me right, I'm still a good man's daughter. Let me in if I break and be quiet if I shatter. The lyrics hit me square in the ribs, rattling loose understanding in my thick skull. Today is a missing Gary Riley day. I knelt down in the grass, grateful I'd not made much progress on the roses or else the neighbors might have seen me and bawled. I played the song again, wiping my nose on my sleeve. I resumed trimming, and then This Is Dedicated to the One I Love by the Mamas and Papas played next. I was never a fan of them when my father was alive, but boy, have I come to appreciate them since his passing. The lyrics felt like Dad whispering in my ear. More music, more revelations, and soon my roses were perfect. I tossed the bag of compost over the wall and only then noticed my hands bloody. I hadn't noticed the pain of the thorns tearing through my skin. If anything, it'd been a relief. I went inside and crossed out all the items on my to-do list. As I showered, I decided to do whatever the heck I wanted that day. Dressed, spiffy, I put on the cool sweatshirt designed by my eldest Nora and drove to Target. I walked up and down the aisles and settled on a set of flowered sheets for the bed, a fresh set of white towels for the master bathroom, and a box of dog biscuits for Cooper, whom I'd traumatized with my morning tears. As the cashier totaled my purchases, she said the groundhog said we were in for 6 more weeks of winter. I broke the news to her that the official groundhog had died the day before, and we both laughed. What kind of omen is that? She guffawed. Good thing we've all developed a dark sense of humor these last 2 years, I added. When I left the parking lot, my heart was still tender for Dad, but I also learned that angels sometimes come in the form of a kind, wonderful human behind a counter. If you've lost a loved one, then you know exactly what I mean when I said I'm having a missing Gary Riley day. Yep, grief makes everyday tasks feel like walking through quicksand. A way I found to survive the loss of my loved ones during the holidays is to make them a part of every aspect of the lead up to and celebration. Oh, and one quick tip, if you need a grief aid right now, bergamot cleanses the soul of heavy energies like grief, sadness, and worry. If you'd like to try, brew a cup of Earl Grey tea. Its flavor comes from bergamot. Also, I found an incredible article written by Jessica Wolsteinholm from mysouthernhealth.com. She opens up with, "Our story includes 2 women gone before their grandchildren could truly know how amazing they were, and it's my job to tell their story for years after they left us." She goes on to say, "I'm committed to involving their memories in our festivities because my children need to feel their presence even in absence. My children need to be reminded because their young minds can so easily forget." The ways she keeps the lost grandparents alive? First, she talks about them. She says, share memories of holidays past. Ask older loved ones to tell stories of their childhood or early years of marriage. Try to remember funny moments and laugh together. The best way we can keep the legacies of our loved ones alive is to bring them into our present through conversations surrounding their lives. Make their favorite recipes. As hard as it was, the author says, the first December without my mom, we gathered together and made her Christmas cookies. We did an awful job without her, but we felt her near as we tried to carry on her Christmas baking tradition. At Christmas and Thanksgiving dinner, we make our mom's favorite dishes and wish they were here to add that extra special pinch of love that makes the food taste so much sweeter. Carry on their traditions. Baking, gift giving, dinner menus, carol singing, whatever family memories our lost loved ones enjoyed, we need to continue. It's easy to let those traditions slip away without certain family members, but we should keep up with the things they loved. If we want our children to carry the legacies of our lost loved ones into their own lives for years to come, we need to teach them the value of tradition. Give gifts in their honor, especially for our children. We can give gifts that we know our lost loved ones would have given. We can talk about her as we present those gifts. And finally, she says, be thankful for the memories that they left behind. Holidays tend to open the wounds of loved ones lost. It can be easy to stuff wonderful memories to save ourselves the pain of directly dealing with the fact that person is not with us this year. But memories keep those we've lost alive, and a heart of thanks brings honor to the life they lived. Our children need to see us finding joy in the past despite the pain of the present. Our children need to hear us sharing memories. I thought the author said that perfectly. I promised earlier in the episode to tell you a little bit more about those holiday gatherings and how to survive them. Well, the key to that is plotting your escape. Yeah, the holidays are filled with gatherings. Right after you RSVPs, plot your escape. But first, a few observations and ground rules. You are never allowed to shame yourself for saying yes to an event. You are never allowed to shame yourself for saying no to an event. No one is watching you as closely as you think they are. In fact, most are self-involved, self-absorbed, and might only take note if you're doing something super obvious, like curling into the fetal position in the middle of the living room or gushing blood. You are in control at all times, even when emotions aren't predictable. If you visualize ways to slip away, then you have put yourself in control, and that's a good thing. Okay, now some simple ideas. There's the gracious guest escape. Most effective when you're in the company of folks with younger children. Honestly, this crowd wouldn't notice if your head fell off and rolled across the carpet. Go to the kitchen and replenish serving plates, rinse dishes, take out the garbage. This will buy you as much time as you need while also making you a favorite future invitee. Be double booked. Explain beforehand that you promised to stop by another event at a given time. Car as safe haven. I forgot something in my car. Sit in your vehicle for as long as you need to. Works best if you keep your keys in your pocket, to be honest. The bathroom break. Self-explanatory. It's the universal excuse to regroup. Offer to get ice. No one would think twice about your mention to do what seems necessary at some point during large gatherings. Look like a hero while you're privately melting down. Utter a safe word to your agreed upon buddy. So have someone that you maybe came to the event with and they know what your safe word is. They'll have your back if you mumble this under your breath. The bonus is they offer instant validity to your need to leave. Host has a pet. Offer to bring the dog outside for a potty break. Be a smoker imposter. I need to step outside for a minute. No one will bat an eyelash. And what about the home security alert? Glance at your cell phone and mention the home alarm is going off. You must go check it. I hope I've gotten the creative juices flowing. It's okay if you have scruples that keep you from enlisting these tips, but know that 99% of humans would have sympathy and compassion if you leveled with them. Said the gatherings are a bit too much for you now, but you're grateful that you were invited. As always, I'm wishing you and yours health and peace in the days to come. I hope this conversation has helped you feel emboldened to put yourself first in some capacity during these crazy holidays. Thank you for listening to Curious Cat. If you like the content, stories, and information, I'd be grateful if you could like and review us on your favorite streaming service. It will help others find us as well. Huge gratitude for my art director and audio engineer. If you're in need of either of those services, please find their links in the show notes. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Until next time, stay curious. I love you.
Hey, you. Yes, you. Are you looking for a new podcast that appeals to your scientific curiosity, but is also a little bit spooky?
Show me how I died in a past life.
Well, look no further, because this cat is where it's at.
He had concerns about the ethics surrounding AI, feeling they had achieved consciousness.
Curious Cat Podcast examines the shadowy space where science and the supernatural collide. Listen every week with your host, Jennifer Holtz, as she and her guests explore what it means to be a soul in a meat suit.
We were healing karma together. They were all kind of predestined to resolve something.
Listen on all your favorite streaming apps and continue the conversation on Twitter at CuriousCatPodCA, or find Jennifer and all her links at Jennifer L. Holtz, spelled HOTES.com.